So, House Dayne, one of the most mysterious houses in A Song of Ice and Fire. There's not many houses that can say, well, there's two of our members where we don't really know if they're alive or not. I'm talking about Sir Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, and his sister, Lady Ashara Dayne. He was a knight of Aerys II's Kingsguard, and the story goes that he was killed at the Tower of Joy by Howland Reed trying to save Ned Stark's life. Ned then takes Arthur's sword, Dawn, and returns it to Starfall, the seat of House Dayne. He gives it to Ashara and is like, got some bad news. But he didn't take Arthur's remains with him. And that is weird. Like, why would you make the journey to Starfall to take the sword back, but not him? It's just odd. And because of that, it's left speculation that maybe he is still alive somewhere. Not long after getting this news from Ned Stark, Lady Ashara Dayne, as the story goes, throws herself out of a tower at Starfall. But the weird thing is, they don't find her remains. So that has left room for speculation that Ashara Dayne is still alive. House Dayne is weird and strange and baffling in general. George R.R. Martin has not revealed their house words. He said, if I reveal them, it gives away something big. What that something big is, we do not know. We don't know why they are the only people aside from the Targaryens to have purple eyes. We don't really know the significance of that. Their family seat, Starfall, built on the site of a fallen star. It's all very ominous, very weird. It's like, what is going on? Now, maybe these siblings, maybe both of them are dead. Very plausible. But the thing that sticks in people's craw is, well, if that's the case, why not just state that? Why shroud it in so much mystery? Is that a red herring? Everything George R.R. Martin does is so intentional and so focused. There's always a reason. So why did he make these characters' deaths so vague? I'm more convinced that Ashara is alive than Arthur. I do think if he had wound up at the Night's Watch, somebody would have recognised him. But in this story, there are a lot of characters that have dual identities. So people wonder, well, is that the case for Arthur Dayne, for Ashara? Are they both out there? Is one of them out there? When it comes to Ashara Dayne, Ned Stark had a bit of a crush on her. All we know is that she vanished. Threw herself out of this tower, supposedly. One reason that is put about is that she had lost a child, that she was so distraught she couldn't go on. That's led to a lot of theories that maybe she is actually the real mother to Jon Snow, and that Ned took the child north, and that is what caused Ashara to do what she did. It's certainly plausible. I'm not going to be the one to rule it out. But it's the fact that they never found her. I mean, it's not like Starfall is like the Eyrie, where you're like miles up in the sky. Some people think she is alive, that she is the character known as Septa Lemore. But Sir Barristan Selmy had a crush on Ashara Dayne, and he doesn't seem to recognise her as Septa Lemore. So I think that puts a bit of a dampener on that theory. Some even say maybe she is alive and she is hiding out in the swamps of the Neck with Howland Reed. Ever since the Tower of Joy, Howland Reed went back to the swamps, back to the marshes, and never left. Smart guy. So could Ashara be living there? Absolutely. This is the hamster wheel we get on in this fandom, and we go round and round and round because we just don't have answers. It is weird that it was not just stated. Sir Arthur Dayne died at the Tower of Joy. Ashara Dayne died at Starfall. But I know I certainly have a tendency to do this. Maybe we are just focusing on the wrong thing. Maybe this is a red herring. Maybe George didn't think we'd read too much into it. I don't know.